Resuming debate, reprise du débat, the honourable member for Wellington-Halton Hills.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Je vais partager mon temps.
I will be splitting my time with the honourable member for Charlesbourg, Haute-Saint-Charles.
Mr. Speaker, the attack on Ukraine by the Russian Federation, ordered by President Vladimir Putin, is the first European war since the Second World War and a serious violation of international law and our collective humanity. This attack threatens not only Ukraine, but Canada, because our security has always been inextricably tied to that of Europe's. Canadians know well the price we paid in 2 world wars in Europe. 100,000 Canadian war dead can attest to that. This attack, coming on the heels of an autocratic pact between the Russian Federation and the People's Republic of China, threatens the rules-based international order that has existed since 1945, an order that Canada helped establish, an order that has ensured the longest period of relative peace and prosperity in the modern period, an order that, if dissolved, threatens Canada's peace and security here at home. We support the actions taken to date by the Government of Canada, but more needs to be done. The government should expel Russian Ambassador Oleg and recall Canadian Ambassador Leclerc from Moscow. It should seek Russia's removal from multilateral fora such as the G20 and OSCE. Diplomatic isolation is needed because diplomacy did not work. In fact, President Putin used diplomacy for his own purposes to disinform and to distract. The government should direct the CRTC to adopt a new policy to terminate licenses of state-controlled broadcasters that spread disinformation and propaganda, so that Russia Today, RT, can be removed from Canadian airwaves, as should other authoritarian state-controlled state-controlled broadcasters here operating in Canada. We must get serious about the disinformation and propaganda spread by proxies of Russia and China here in Canada. The government should also immediately implement visa-free travel for Ukrainians wanting to come to Canada, as has the European Union already, as have member states of the European Union already have done. We must be clear-eyed about these proposed measures. We must be clear-eyed that these proposed measures are not going to stop the invasion in Ukraine. We must be clear-eyed that the measures announced to date by the Government of Canada are not going to stop the invasion in Ukraine. We must be clear-eyed that a middle power like Canada can only do certain things to counter the threat from Vladimir Putin and the Russian Federation. And if we are clear-eyed, there are 2 things we can do. First, we must understand that energy is vital not only to our economy, but to our security. Russia understands this. Canada has not. Russia supplies 40% of Europe's natural gas and uses this to intimidate Europe and Ukraine, threatening to cut off supplies. If supplies are cut, people will freeze, factories will shutter, and Europe's economy will plummet. Canada is the 5th largest natural gas producer in the world, but we can't get gas to Europe to assist European democracies because we can't get pipelines built. Getting natural gas to Atlantic tidewater is vital not only to our economic interest, not only to our environmental interest, but vital to our security interest. We were an arsenal for European democracy decades ago. We can be energy for European democracy today. We must understand that Russia considers the Arctic its most important region. It has spent considerable resources there in recent years. Canada, like Ukraine, shares a border region with Russia, the Arctic Ocean. We no longer can afford to take our security for granted. We need a robust plan to defend Canadian Arctic sovereignty and security that includes purchasing F-35 jets, modernizing NORAD's early warning system, fixing our national shipbuilding program, joining ballistic missile defense, and closer cooperation with Scandinavian and American allies in the Arctic region. Mr. Speaker, the world has irreversibly changed in the last week. We must get serious about the threats presented by China and by Russia, and that starts with treating energy as vital, not only to our economy, but to our security, and treating seriously the Arctic as crucial to our sovereignty and to our security. Thank you very much.